Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into the treasure map versus Luffy for the 5+, Sulong Bepo, with some treasure map teams that don't utilize the treasure map batch of Rob Lucci and Kaku, Stussy, and the 3 Seraphim unit. However, in today's video, we are utilizing stuff like versus Luffy Kaido, versus Blackbeard and Law, Yamato, those types of units that did come alongside the big One Piece Day celebration. So, if you guys haven't done so already, I would highly recommend heading over to at least the Luffy vs Kaido banner, summoning there. Because sure, you won't pick up the treasure map batch, but you'll still pick up a lot of good treasure map rare recruits, legends, and obviously great super SUGOs that are going to help you down the line when it comes to future treasure maps, future events, and stuff like that. So, as mentioned, I did put out a video that uses none of the One Piece Day celebration characters. That video was rough as hell. Hopefully I'll do a playthrough for it and it actually works. But I have told you guys to summon over on the One Piece Day Super SUGO banner, so hopefully you guys picked up some goodies over there, namely Luffy vs Kaido and Blackbeard vs Law. I feel like they're probably the biggest prizes of the celebration so far. As good as Yamato is, she's just not that useful in most content that we've had thrown at us, while Luffy vs Kaido and Blackbeard vs Law, namely Blackbeard, has just been so damn valuable with what you guys need for these particular events. But if you enjoyed the video, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. As you guys can see down, if we scroll down the bottom here, this boosted list is very poor. Like, I don't know what they're thinking when they just sort of cull, like, so many units from this. Like, why is the rare recruits from Luffy vs Kaido not boosted? Like why not? Like, it just makes no goddamn sense to me. The fact that only 2 strength characters are boosted, or 3, I believe, actually, sorry, with Momo and Kinemon Dendro, that shit-ass unit. Like, the fact that only 3 strength characters are boosted is just beyond me. So what makes Treasure Map Legends so valuable? All Treasure Map Legends will be boosted across the board, so if you guys manage to pick some of them up, you are going to have a good time. And look, I think they should do the same thing with rare recruits, but for some reason, they only select a handful of those. So hopefully these teams help you guys out. If you're looking for other options, I will be putting up my teams. I will be putting out, obviously, that video that doesn't use any of these new characters, and hopefully something helps you guys out along the way. But the idea here is to utilize speed to get through the mini-bosses and then use as many points as we can for the final stage. Moving on to the first fight, we come up against Nami. Nami's recommended character is 6+ Akainu. Basically, if you have 6+ Akainu, you just win. But if you're using 6+ Akainu on the final stage, then it's kind of challenging. Everyone gets the good stuff. There's Despair, Normal Attacks Only, Resilience, Defense Up, and a Barrier. So, as you can see, 6+ Akainu literally just takes care of all of this. So we're just using 6+ Akainu. Wave clicking with Zoro, use 6+ Akainu on the final stage, and then just use other characters to give you more damage where you need it. Like, pretty straightforward. Not really much else to say about that. Let's move on to the Franky fight. Franky and Luffy. Just Franky, but Luffy does run away. Recommended characters are Ace and Hiyori, the 5+ Hiyori. Free Spirit Power, Slashes get all the good stuff. There is Despair, Special Reverse, full board of unfavorable slots, a 1 or barrier, normal attacks only, a territory, and then your captains get paralysis orbs. So, very annoying. Your crewmates are the only ones that get the special reverse, so we're utilizing Nami Karina as our captains. Nami Karina are just going to give you the special rollback on your sailors. This is going to wave clear turn 1. Izukiku is going to wave clear turn 2. We have the 5-star Hiyori. This is why saving the 5-star and the 5+ is great. We're utilizing the 5-star Hiyori here literally just as a point booster, but she's also a territory maker, so that's going to override the territory. And then we have Luffy, who just, like, gets boosted, so, like, we may as well use him here. We use the Rayleigh support for the bind on the middle row, and then we're off to the races there. Luffy also provides a territory, so with that, you basically cover for everything. The top row Despair is a little bit annoying, but we do have, it's only 4 turns, so with Rayleigh and this Hiyori, you actually take care of 4 turns very nicely. You could probably just use supports, though. I believe there's probably another support that you could use on, like, Izukiku. Can you run Kanjuro on Izukiku? Or is Kanjuro, like, yeah, you could run that, and you're basically covered. So that way you don't even need to use the Hiyori special with this team, and it's going to work out super nicely. Moving on to the Sanji fight. Sanji, recommended characters are the Blackbeard Batch and Arlong. So very nice stuff there. Dex in and quick characters get the good stuff. You get binded, stunned, normal attacks only, immunity except defense down, full board of block orbs, increased damage taken, a slot barrier for 2 recovery orbs, and then an attack down if you have any type orbs plus 100,000 damage on death. Remember, if you don't remove this increased damage taken, it will be 200,000 damage. However, I believe you can just use the sailor abilities of Enrage, like these Enrage abilities, for example. They're actually going to remove 2 turns of it, so Just be very, very mindful of that. But the thing with Arlong is he actually has an ability where he's going to give you the threshold buff. So with that threshold buff, you're just going to be able to tank the damage very, very nicely. Next, we've got Luffy. He's going to give us a full board of recovery orbs. That breaks through the barrier. Obviously, if you have Burgess, like, just use Burgess. I don't have Burgess, so that's what I'm doing. But just use Burgess here, and you will be absolutely fine. That's going to work out super hunky-dory. As for the wave clearing, we have Daifuku. And then we're using the Rayleigh support to take care of the middle row bind. It's only 2 turns of bind. Well, 2 turns after sockets. So Rayleigh's just going to take care of that, and then you're pretty fine. If you want to, you could do this, and then you don't even need the bind removing support. That's going to work nicely as well. Hiyori's going to be a territory. Yamato's going to hit really, really hard, and basically you wham bam thank you there. Wham bam thank you ma'am from there. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Yamato makes recovery orbs into Wanosos, doesn't she? Yeah, she turns recovery into Wano. So what we're going to do is we're definitely going to flick that around. Yamato's not needed on this team. I just wanted to put her somewhere. So we're going to do that. Definitely going to do Hiyori, and then you don't need this support. So as long as you bring Arlong, like, he's going to be like the big unit to use here. He's just going to basically take care of everything for you. Plus, Luffy's an orb booster. He's base stat booster. Hiyori can be an attack booster. Oh, sorry. Yamato can be an attack booster too, I believe. Actually, I don't know if she is, because you need a full team of free spirits, right? To get her attack boost. Yeah, you need a full team of free spirits, which we don't have, but, like, again, Yamato, she's just kind of here, man. Like, she's just kind of here doing her thing. Other than that, I think you're okay. I don't know if we have full, Enrage on this team. Maybe Daifuku has it. Does Daifuku have Enrage? No, he doesn't. He has special, double special, duh. Does this Luffy have it? No. So you're probably going to take 200,000 damage on the final stage. Unless you want to remove that Enrage ability somehow. So just be mindful of that. You might need to tweak the team a little bit to get around that. Off the top of my dome, you could probably use Van Ogre. You could run Kuzan. Yeah, you could run Van Ogre. Obviously, if you have Burgess, Burgess is just going to take care of that. But for this team, we're going to leave it like this for now and see how it goes. Like, this ability to drastically reduce damage. So he drastically reduces damage over 5,000, I believe. So that works really, really nicely. Yeah, and you're gonna be absolutely fine at that point. I believe Yamato gives you damage reduction as well, right? You get 80% damage reduction with Yamato. Can tell I didn't really think this team through. You can... Yeah. No. Is it EX that gives damage reduction? Oh, it's an EX that gives damage reduction. That's annoying. That's very, very annoying. If you want, you could just, like, use a different wave clear here. Throw, like, Zoro on this team, and then I believe you get... Well, actually, do you need 3? Oh, yeah, if you're on double Hiyori, and then you have Luffy, you actually get the damage reduction. Yeah, cool, that'll be fine. You'll be sweet. You have damage reduction, you have threshold, you're off to the races. Move on to Zoro now. Against Zoro, we are utilizing Law, but we're not using Kuzan or Bepo. Strikers, Cerebrals, and Shooters get all the good stuff. On turn 3, you get a captain swap to your bottom row, and then your captains get 2 turns of action silence. I believe this is action silence, so just be mindful of that with, like, verse abilities and stuff like whatnot. Normal attacks only, immunity, defense up, damage reduction, and paralysis. So running double Nami here is definitely the play. We're just going to get all the paralysis removed. She's going to be our wave clearer, or you can use Brook as a wave clearer. Whatever you guys want to do there, it's going to be fine. As for Luffy and Sanji, you can bink both of them on turn 2. So you get an attack boost, you get an orb buff, carry it into the final stage, and then it doesn't really matter who gets swapped into captain because they're both just good captains. You can use the versatility of Law to cancel this if you really want to. And then that way you just get more benefits with that. Law's going to then swap himself into captain with his special. Actually, no, you don't have strike characters, never mind. But Law's just here, just doing Law-like things. So the team should work well. I just threw Law onto my other team. Remember these mini-bosses, you just want to try and get them done as fast as possible. On to the final fight now, the creme de la creme and the meat and potatoes of the video. We're going to take on Luffy as the final boss. The recommended characters besides the treasure map units is Blackbeard. And on turn 1, fighter-driven strikers get all the good stuff. On turn 2, there's 4 enemies being Robin, Usopp, and Chopper with 500,000 HP apiece. And obviously Luffy is there too. You get special bind on your left-hand column, 7 turns of attack down, 6 turns of damage, defense up, full immunity except for defense down, and then you just target lock. Now, if you remove that defense up, the enemy does a bunch of bad stuff. So don't do that, just to set it to 0. Obviously, with Lucci and Kaku as a friend captain, then that's going to make it very, very nicely. Very, very easy. On battle 3, after you kill all the enemies, you have to come up against Brook and Jinbei. Luffy's weak to driven class enemies, and he gives you bind on your bottom row. He blows away your middle left for 1 turn, so just be very, very mindful of that. 3 turns of an attack buff, a 1.1 attack buff. For 2 turns, you can only do 3 million damage, which is very interesting, because imagine when it starts to scale, and the back units are already at 500,000 a pop. You kill the back units, for example, and then, I don't know, how are you going to go about killing Luffy in 2 turns? It's very, very weird to me, but I guess we'll have to see. 10 turns of damage reduction, 10 turns of threshold. Obviously, Kaku is going to take care of that. 3 turns of target lock, so you have to target Luffy. So you can't just kill the back units. Obviously, that's where the super swap comes into play, but we'll talk about that once we get there. When the enemy has no damage reduction, then they're going to do a whole bunch of bad stuff too, so don't do that. For this team, we are utilizing Blackbeard as our captain. Blackbeard as a captain can remove attack down because we have 4 powerhouse characters, being Van Ogre, the Bepo, Ace, and then obviously Blackbeard himself. That's going to work out really, really nicely. On turn 2, you want to kill the back units, but you don't want to remove the defense up. So super swapping with Lucario here is the only play. It should kill the back units. I believe that's what they want you to do, so that's why it's here. You'll super swap with them, kill the back units, and then you use their special to remove the attack down. Now, on the final stage, you're going to have that defense up threshold situation. I believe you need to be in the dual form of Lucario for this to work. I believe, anyway. So that's something to note. So you're going to have to use their special on turn 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how it has to go. Otherwise, you won't get through the damage reduction and threshold, right? Otherwise, if you go into their dual form, it might reduce it. But I'm not 100% sure exactly how that works. You guys let me know in the comment section below. I might actually test that after this particular video, so that might be something that I really should have tested before this. To get around the special bind, we're utilizing Carrot and Nami. They're basically just going to remove the special bind there, and then we have Van Ogre to take care of the bind on the final stage. The final stage is going to be real iffy, though, because it's just going to be a bit of a bitch. The back units have 500,000 HP, so I'm really hoping that Ace's burn can take care of that. Bepo is not doing anything on this team, so if you need to replace Bepo, you can. Maybe replace him with another unit that can delay. The enemy has no full immunity or anything like that, so you should be able to do some pretty fun stuff there. So that's the team I've put together so far. We'll test if it works. Hopefully it does, but if it doesn't, look, I do sincerely apologize, but this particular treasure map sucks absolute eggs, and you'll definitely be able to make it work if you take Bepo off. With a delaying unit, but if you guys want higher boosts, it's going to be very, very tricky. On to the final stage now. Oh, Blackbeard, by the way, is also going to increase the 1.1 times attack boost into a 3 point something, so that works exceptionally well. On to the intrusion now against Bepo. Kaido, Blackbeard are the boosted characters besides the full batch. Dex, Quickening, get all the good stuff. There's 1 turn of Special Rush on stage 2. Normal attacks only, and a 2 tandem or barrier. There's 6 turns of damage reduction, 6 turns of threshold, full immunity, and then the enemy puts up a territory. Once defeated, the enemy does a full HP recovery and then retreats. After that, on battle 3, Bepo's weak to driven. Gives you 1 turn of special rest again, 7 turn chain locks, a attack down if you blow a 3.75 chain, 9 turns of attack down, full immunity, except for defense down, normal attacks only, and then 6 turns of despair after sockets. If you charge your specials, the enemy's going to remove all your beneficial effects, and then remove your type effects, which is very, very annoying. So, you kind of want to use the super swap of Lucario to get around that. So, on turn 2, you do want to get 1 turn of cooldown somewhere, and that's where the Van Ogre comes into play. Van Ogre is going to give us the cooldown for Kaido's. Kaido's going to use his special. We get the tandem mob so we can break through the barrier. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Should be pretty simple for turn 2. He also removes the damage reduction in the threshold by 6 turns, which is great. And that's why he's pretty much recommended. On the final stage, Lucario is going to take care of the chain lock, the attack down below a certain chain, Blackbeard takes care of the attack down, and then I have a whole bunch of supports to take care of the despair. Again, Bepo's not doing anything for these fights, but he's a 1.4 times booster, and I really wanted to apply him somewhere. Like, that's kind of the name of the game when it comes to this. Ace is going to get cooldown, so you have to be very careful when using Ace. I would recommend using Ace on turn 2. Utilizing Ace on turn 2 is just going to stop you from, like, forgetting and utilizing the cooldowns of him there. Same with Van Ogre. Make sure you use, like, all the Van Ogre on turn 2. Otherwise, you're going to be in for a bad time. Realistically, all you need to do is use Blackbeard and Lucario on the final stage, and that should cover you guys quite nicely. But that's going to wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, if you guys are in this beautiful world, please make sure you enjoy the rest of your day. Best of luck with Treasure Map. It's going to be a doozy. Hit the bell notification if you guys want to see the playthroughs, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Loads!